Have you ever considered how much energy your Google search or your Netflix binge session consumes? It's an intriguing question, isn't it? The answer might surprise you. Every day we engage with technologies powered by artificial intelligence. From the voice assistant on your phone, the social media platforms you browse, to the streaming services you use for your favorite shows. But behind the convenience and instant gratification that these technologies offer lies a hidden cost. We're talking about the energy consumption of everyday AI use. You see, every time you ask Siri a question, every film you stream on Netflix, every photo you like on Instagram, you're not just using energy on your device. These activities are powered by massive data centers and servers across the globe. These digital fortresses consume an astonishing amount of energy to store, process, and deliver the information you request at the tap of a screen or the utterance of a command. Consider this. In 2016, Dutch researcher Alex de Vries found that a single Bitcoin transaction consumed as much energy as an average American household uses in a day. Shocking, right? But it doesn't stop there. These energy-hungry technologies don't just consume power, they also produce electronic waste and use copious amounts of water for cooling purposes. What's more, de Vries warned of another energy guzzler on the horizon: artificial intelligence. He estimated that if Google were to integrate generative AI into every search, its electricity use would skyrocket to nearly 29 billion kilowatt hours per year. That's more than the energy consumption of many countries, including Kenya, Guatemala, and Croatia. So, the next time you ask your voice assistant for the weather, remember this. It's not just about the energy your device uses, but the unseen energy consumed by the data centers and servers that power these services. The cost of convenience is higher than you might think. But don't worry, we'll explore more about this in the next scenes. So stay tuned. In 2016, Alex de Vries, a Dutch consultant, started asking questions about the energy consumption of Bitcoin. It was a curiosity that sparked in his mind when he discovered that a single Bitcoin transaction could consume as much energy as an average American household in a day. This realization was not only alarming but also puzzling. Why was there so little conversation around this? Driven by this curiosity, de Vries began to dig deeper. He was then 27 years old, working at a consulting firm and writing a blog called Digiconomist in his spare time, where he voiced concerns about the risks of cryptocurrency investments. His search for data yielded little, so he decided to do the research himself, creating the Bitcoin Energy Consumption Index and sharing it on his blog, Digiconomist. The numbers he uncovered were staggering. Bitcoin mining, he found, consumes 145 billion kilowatt hours of electricity annually. To put that into perspective, that's more energy than the entire nation of the Netherlands uses. And the environmental cost? Producing this electricity results in 81 million tons of CO2 emissions, surpassing the annual emissions of countries like Morocco. But the environmental impact doesn't stop there. De Vries also began to track the electronic waste produced by Bitcoin mining, which equates to an iPhone's worth of waste for every transaction. And let's not forget the water use, 2 trillion liters per year, mainly used for cooling the servers involved in mining. Bitcoin's energy consumption is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the energy demands of modern technologies. But de Vries didn't stop at Bitcoin. He turned his attention to another rising star in the tech world: artificial intelligence. But that's a topic for another time. For now, let's pause and consider the implications of these energy demands. Are we ready to grapple with the environmental cost of our technological advancements? Let's continue to explore this in the next segment. Thanks for joining us on this journey of discovery. Stay tuned for more. De Vries didn't stop at Bitcoin. He turned his attention to another energy hog: artificial intelligence. In his quest to unveil the hidden energy costs of modern technology, de Vries found that AI, like Bitcoin, has an enormous energy appetite. He realized that the computational power needed for complex AI tasks was steep, and consequently, so was the energy demand. But it wasn't just the current state of AI that concerned de Vries. It was its potential growth trajectory. He took a closer look at Google, a tech giant heavily reliant on AI. He made a startling estimation. If Google integrated generative AI into all its searches, its electricity consumption would skyrocket to around 29 billion kilowatt hours annually. To put that into perspective, it's more than the yearly energy consumption of several countries, including Kenya, Guatemala, and Croatia. The implications of such energy demands are immense. The world is racing to reach net zero emissions, and yet new technologies like AI are creating fresh, insatiable demands for energy. This energy isn't materializing out of thin air. It's often generated by burning fossil fuels, leading to more CO2 emissions and exacerbating climate change. Furthermore, the servers that power AI need to be cooled, consuming vast amounts of water. And when these servers become outdated, they contribute to electronic waste. Essentially, there's a whole chain of environmental impacts tied to AI's energy consumption. De Vries's findings lay bare a stark reality. As we integrate AI more deeply into our lives, its energy demand is likely to rise. The same technology that's driving innovation and development could also be driving up our carbon emissions and water usage. This isn't just about Google or any single company, it's about the potential energy demand of AI as a technology and the environmental implications if left unchecked. As De Vries puts it, there's a fundamental mismatch between AI and environmental sustainability. If unchecked, AI's energy demand could become a major hurdle in the global path to environmental sustainability. Even the most prominent supporters of AI, like OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, acknowledge the significant energy needs of this technology. Altman's concerns aren't just about the power AI consumes today. He's looking ahead, envisioning a future where AI's energy demands grow exponentially. As he stated at a public appearance in Davos, "I think we still don't appreciate the energy needs of this technology." Altman doesn't just raise the issue, he also points out the solution. We need a breakthrough in energy technology. We need fusion or radically cheaper solar plus storage, or something else entirely, on a scale that is unprecedented. The technology we're using now isn't going to cut it. The AI of the future will require energy innovations that are just as forward-thinking and revolutionary. It's not just about meeting the energy needs of AI, it's about meeting those needs sustainably. Just last week, the International Energy Agency announced that energy-related global CO2 emissions rose again in 2023 to more than 37 billion metric tons. This increase is a stark reminder of the challenges we face in achieving net zero emissions. It's a glaring sign that we're falling short. This rise in emissions comes at a time when the world is supposedly striving to reach net zero. And while data centers, where much of AI's energy consumption occurs, are presently a small part of the problem, their impact could grow as AI becomes more prevalent. So what's the takeaway here? It's not about halting the progress of AI. AI holds tremendous potential to solve some of our most complex problems and to enhance our lives in ways we can't even imagine yet. But as we forge ahead in developing this technology, we need to be mindful of the energy it requires. We need to innovate not just in AI, but also in how we power it. And remember, every breakthrough, every innovation, every stride we make towards a more sustainable future, it starts with awareness. It starts with conversations like this one. The world needs to innovate not just in AI, but also in how we power it. So what can we, as consumers and advocates of technology, do about this? First and foremost, awareness is key. Understanding that our digital consumption has a real-world impact is the first step towards creating a more sustainable future. It's easy to forget that every search we make, every email we send, and every photo we store in the cloud consumes energy. By being more mindful of our digital habits, we can start to make more sustainable choices. Next, we can advocate for renewable energy sources. The energy demands of AI and digital technologies are not going away, but the sources of that energy can change. Solar, wind, and hydroelectric power can provide the energy needed to power our digital lives without the harmful emissions associated with traditional energy sources. As consumers, we can support companies that invest in renewable energy and push for policies that make renewable energy more accessible and affordable. Furthermore, we can support sustainable technology practices. This includes everything from energy-efficient data centers to AI algorithms that are designed to be less energy-intensive. For example, some tech companies are already exploring ways to make AI more efficient by using techniques like model pruning, which reduces the complexity of AI models without sacrificing performance. Finally, we can be mindful of our own digital consumption. This doesn't mean we need to stop using digital technologies altogether, but rather that we can make more conscious choices about how and when we use them. For instance, do we really need to stream videos in high definition all the time? Or could we sometimes make do with a lower resolution? Small changes like these can add up to a big difference in terms of energy consumption. The path to a sustainable AI future is not a simple one, and it will require efforts from all of us, from individual consumers to tech giants. But with awareness and action, we can help to ensure that the digital revolution doesn't come at the expense of our planet. The path to a sustainable AI future starts with awareness, followed by action. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.